Hello everyone, it's Dan here from Honest Betting Reviews. Just want to give an update on Electroneum. This is some breaking news right now about how much you can earn as a mobile miner of Electroneum. Now, there's been a lot of excitement around this with over 200,000 people registering for the token sale of Electroneum and a huge amount of interest around social media, and various websites and news sites have been covering this story. And the token sale closed early, a couple of weeks before it was scheduled to, basically because they'd raised so much money. They'd raised $40 million in a token sale, which was the hard cap target they set initially. So Electroneum did really well. They decided to close the token sale early. I mean, they could have carried on until the end of October, which was the original date scheduled to finish it. And if they'd done that, they could have raised 50 to 60 million, the rate they were going. So if you saw my previous video, you'll know I thought at the time that was quite a good decision, actually. I think that meant that all the excitement and momentum had been built up during that token sale, they'd then be allowed to use that really to create some pent up demand for when the app for mining goes live and when Electroneum hopefully goes live on some cryptocurrency exchanges. So that's where we were as of around a week ago, and what's happened since then is that Electroneum have obviously been working hard behind the scenes, getting things ready for when the app launches, and hopefully they'll be able to carry over that pent up demand, and we'll see some really good growth of Electroneum when that happens. But as I say, coming back to the breaking news that's just come from Electroneum, just seen this. Looking at this article here, this comes from Richard Ells, who's the founder and the CEO of Electroneum, and he's just written an article entitled "How Much Can I Earn as a Mobile Miner?" So let's go and have a look at what he says here, because I think this is really interesting. So he says, we've had a lot of queries about the amount of money a mobile miner can expect to earn. We made a statement in our white paper about introducing the additional funds left over from the token sale to prop up mobile miners to $30 to attempt to increase viral growth. To give you an idea of where we were at when we wrote that white paper, you must remember that at that time the largest ICO we'd seen was Tezos, which had 22,000 contributors. We were expecting to get fewer contributors than the most popular ICO of all time at that time, so we thought we might get around 10,000 contributors. As you all know, Electroneum is now the largest token sale of all time by contributor number, with over 120,000 contributors and over 300,000 registrations of interest. We have a delivery rate of 277,000 on our Electroneum email list. This huge number and our overwhelming success have meant a few things. One, our support team are struggling. We can't easily recruit new trusted members, as the problems they are encountering are complex and the trust level, ability to access our database pre-launch, is too sensitive. We're answering support queries as fast as we can. Two, our initial estimates of growth are wildly underestimated. So then Richard goes on to say, when we provided the $30 figure in the white paper, we thought that in the first month we might have as many as 10,000 app users. The actual figure is likely to be around 10 to 20 times that number, and possibly a lot more. The number of coins each miner will gain is directly proportional to the number of miners. This is even true of the additional pool of funds from the remainder of the token sale. Obviously, if there are more miners, the reward per miner is less. The difficulty comes with assigning a dollar value to that figure. Our white paper states that we will top up to $30 and I no longer believe that to be a prudent figure for the maximum growth of Electroneum. If we were to do that, the number of people we are likely to have on board now, then the additional pool would be exhausted extremely quickly, and no benefit to the Electroneum brand would be gained. Imagine we gave away all the additional pool in the first week to a handful, in mass adoption terms, of mobile miners. What we're unable to speculate on for legal reasons is the future price of Electroneum. Our figure in the white paper was based on a retail price of 1 cent. If this price were to go up, then miners would be earning more money for the same number of coins. We're not legally allowed to predict a price increase because that is speculative and outside of our control. We do not know what the future value of Electroneum will be. The future price of Electroneum is now entirely in the hands of holders of Electroneum, i.e. you. The price of Electroneum will be set by the rate at which someone is willing to sell, being matched to a price that someone else is willing to pay. So it goes on to talk about the figures we might be expecting. So it says, in an interview, I made a statement about a few dollars per month, and this figure is now being compared to the $30 headline figure and remarks upon. Again, that figure was based on a retail price of 1 cent. What I can say is that according to our latest calculations, if there are 75,000 mobile miners in week 1, they are likely to get approximately 70 ETN coins per day on a fast Android phone, Galaxy S8, if the app is in the foreground and running 24 hours a day. This equates to around $21 over 30 days with a retail price of 1 cent. What I cannot do is guarantee that figure is going to happen because we don't know how many miners there will be, and we don't know if the price will go down below 1 cent or rise above 1 cent. We will make use of the additional mobile mining pool judiciously and in the best interests of growing the number of Electroneum users. If we are getting enormous growth, then we will slow the additional coin emission to perform tests to see what the maximum benefit can be. Then Richard goes on to say, I'm sorry I don't have exact answers, but what I can say is remember that at the end of 2009, there were probably less than 1,000 Bitcoin miners in the world a year after it launched. In 2009, you could mine 100 Bitcoin per day with a CPU. Electroneum will certainly be going live with tens of thousands of miners, perhaps even more than 100,000. Who knows what the first month will bring. Bitcoin is 8 years, and Bitcoin today, 24th October 2017, has 10,450 nodes live. These are full Bitcoin miners, not pool miners, of which there are more, but nobody knows how many, perhaps 100,000 to 200,000. The best way to find out how much Electroneum you can mine on your phone is to wait until the Electroneum blockchain is live. Download the app and get mining. Thanks for your interest, everyone. We're doing something incredible here and value your support. Richard Ells. So there we have it, really. What do we make of all this then? Well, I'm not surprised by this email at all. When they said in the white paper you'd get $30 a month for mining Electroneum, it was obvious that with the number of people they had interested in this, that was never going to be the case because all of the coins would have just been used up within a few months at most. So the figure that he's been quoting in interviews lately about being, a few dollars a month is much more realistic. And what was I was expecting? So I'm a little surprised actually when he says here, if there are 75,000 mobile miners in week 1, they're likely to get approximately 70 ETN coins per day on a fast phone. If the app is in the foreground and running 24 hours per day, that equates to around $21, retail price of 1 cent. So that's actually much higher. I mean, I thought when he was talking, in interviews and he was saying a few dollars a month, that might be $3 or $4. Now it's possible And again, this is just possibility because it's going to depend entirely on two things: one, how many miners there are, and two, what the value of Electroneum is on the exchanges. But he's saying you could still be getting $21 per month, which would be fantastic. Personally, I think it's gonna even if it starts at that amount, I think it's gonna quickly decrease because I think the take up would be absolutely massive if they were offering $21 a month for just having an app on your phone. Can you imagine how that would go down in some parts of the world? That would be crazy. So I expect it's going to drop down to a few dollars. But what about the price? The price, that again, he's saying up here, well, legally they can't speculate on the price. And the nice thing is that we can speculate on the price because we're not working for Electroneum or with any of those stipulations. So yeah, we can speculate on the price. My personal view, and this is just my own view, I could be completely wrong on this, is that Electroneum will start off, I think, fairly slowly in terms of the price. I think it could start off at 1 cent and then slowly rise from there, 2 cents, 3 cents over the next few months. But I think long term the price could be much higher than that, and that's going to come down to how many miners end up joining Electroneum and downloading the app and mining. If that gets to a few million, then this could be huge, and the price could seriously rise. I think there's been a lot of speculation about the number of coins. A lot of people have said this will never, price of Electroneum will never rise much above 1 cent. It could even be less than that because there are so many coins in circulation. If you go back to the white paper, and what they said in here was that the number of coins ultimately in circulation would be 21 billion, which is a huge number. Let's see if we can find this. But obviously that 21 billion, that is the final number. That's not going to be how many coins there are in circulation at the outset on 1st of November when this launches. It's because basically it's looking like there's going to be around 4 billion coins in circulation if you take the simple maths that they sold $40 million of Electroneum, and each coin is worth 1 cent. But the final numbers may be a little different than that because a lot of people buying Electroneum are getting free bonuses. So that's going to affect the numbers somewhat. But if we have a look here, with Electroneum supply of 21 billion coins, it made it easier to mine whole coins and pay with whole coins. But let's say Electroneum, starts off with say 100,000 people on the app, and then it grows over the next few months to 1 million people. If you have 1 million people mining this coin, if we have a look at calculator, so if you think about being 4 billion coins to start off with, and let's say through the mining, there'll be a lot of coins being mined. So let's say it goes up to 5 billion. So that'll be 5 and 9 zeros. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 zeros divided by 1, 3, 4, 6. You're going to have, each person can have an average 5,000 Electroneum coins. So that, you can look at that and say, well, that's not a crazy amount. 5,000 coins, if they're worth 1 cent, then that basically means you would have a value of $50 worth. So, I don't think those figures are outlandish, and I don't think that should, make people think that this isn't worth getting involved in. I think the key point here is if you have a large number of users, then the 21 billion coins are ultimately in circulation, and it's not going to be something that will stop the price rising over time. Let's say even when we get to the point where there are 21 billion coins in circulation, so 21 and then 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. So when you get to the point there'll be 21 billion coins in circulation. Now let's say at that stage there might be, this is just a guess, there might be 5 million people having downloaded the app and mining, or well, let's say 5 million owners of Electroneum one way or the other. People may be buying on exchanges. People may be obviously the people who participated in the token sale. So again, a similar number, 4,200. It's like everyone would have 4,200 on average. Some people have a lot more, some people have less. So we're not talking about crazy numbers of coins, per person here. And certainly when you think about, I think it's something that's also important here is when you're getting close to that 21 billion figure being hit, then there's going to be huge pressure on the price, because people are realizing that at some point there's going to be no more coins to mine. You can't get the free coins just for mining it on your phone. After that point, you're going to have to buy them on an exchange if you want them. Hopefully by that point, Electroneum will be starting to be used in, or will be well established in, gaming, video games, and possibly gambling sites, maybe for micropayments and other things. So I think, as I say, I could see the price rising quite substantially over time if they can get some people, a lot of people signed up to this app, and the signs on that are very good from the outset. If they've got 311,991 registered users just from the token sale, that is pretty phenomenal stuff. They've got $40 million in the bank, which they can now use for marketing, and they've shown, I think, through this token sale, they're very, very good at marketing. I'm wondering whether there's going to be some sort of incentive, for people to, to encourage their friends and family and colleagues to download the app like they had with the token sale, where you got a little bonus if you got people to sign up using your code. So they might have something similar like that where you get a few free tokens if you can get people to sign up. That would help with viral growth. But even if they don't have that, I think this $40 million gives them a big war chest to use. And I expect to see a lot of stuff going around on them in social media, news stories. They've had billboards and that kind of thing. It wouldn't even be that surprised they have some TV adverts. We've got enough money for that now. And they'll be able to go global with this as well. It's not just going to be, I think, a UK or US thing. I think they will go to China, Far East, and all over the place with this. So let's see what happens. Anyway, it'll be fascinating to see what the price is when it gets listed on the exchanges. They're saying that can't happen until the blockchain goes live. But if it goes live on the 1st of November, then hopefully they will get listed very soon after that. And hopefully we'll see this in quite a few different exchanges and some of the big ones like Bittrex. So I'm excited about this. I hope you are too if you got involved. Bottom line is, I think this is going to depend entirely on how many people download the app. If they can get it up into the millions, then I'm confident the price will rise well above 1 cent. I mean, I've been, looking on social media and things, and some people predicting some crazy prices of sort of $1, $2, $10. Um, you know, that becomes difficult to see that happening in the short term, but who knows in the long term. $1 is, I don't think is crazy. I mean, if we have a look at coin market cap, because I think this gives an interesting point of comparison. So this gives us all the big cryptocurrencies by market cap, which is basically how much they're worth. If you times the number of coins by the value of each coin, then you get the market cap. So obviously Bitcoin is number one here with a $94 billion market cap. Ethereum next with 29. So let's say Electroneum, 21 billion coins will eventually be in circulation at some point. If they're worth $1 each, that would put it in third in this table, behind Bitcoin and Ethereum. But obviously, I'd imagine if that happens in a year or two's time, these will be worth considerably more than that, and so will some of these. In terms of the flotation price, so if we're saying there's going to be around 4 billion Electroneum in circulation, that means we're going to have it's 4 billion coins times the price of one coin, give it a market cap of $40 million, which isn't very much at all actually. And you'd have to scroll right down this list. I think I had a look at this in one of my previous videos. I mean, way down. Was it way down? I mean, it's not even the top 100 at $40 million. Here's some of these. I have to say I'm not familiar with some of these coins. Denta coin, that sounds interesting. Is that something to do with dentistry? I don't know. District OX, yeah. So, given the interest in Electroneum, I'm not expecting. I don't think $40 million would be a crazy price for it to start off with. It put it at 107th. Put 107th in the list. Now let's say it went to 10 cents per Electroneum coin. That'll give it a market cap of $400 million to start off with. Should put it around about here, around about 19th, 20th, between Tether and Waves. That'd be a pretty good start for it. I think if we get it to $10 by Christmas, that'd be great. And then upwards from there. So you can see it's been a good day for lots of these coins today. Bitcoin's dropped 2.39%, but all of these others are up. There's an awful lot of green here actually. IOTA up 30%. That's good. Interesting. So yeah. Let's see how this all pans out then. 1st of November is the big day. That's when Electroneum becomes available to mine when the blockchain goes live. The only question, well, from my point of view, I have an iPhone, so I understand that Apple will only list the app on the App Store once Electroneum is listed on an exchange. So let's hope that happens pretty soon after the 1st of November. Hopefully within the first week or two, I think would be. I think that's what everyone's expecting. If it's much beyond that, it would be a bit disappointing, really, because those millions of iPhone users out there would miss out on those first couple of weeks. So let's hope they get this live on an exchange and then onto the iPhone as quickly as possible. I mean, they've even got an iPhone in their picture there, so they're obviously expecting that to happen. So yes, let's see how it goes. Good luck if you're on hold of Electroneum. If you're not, then I hope you found this as a good introduction. Perhaps you want to get involved once once it launches on an exchange. If you do that, then please do your own research and make sure you're comfortable with investing in something like this, because these cryptocurrencies are very risky, and something bad could happen. Electroneum could be worth nothing at some point. So if that happens, then you could lose all your money. I could lose all the coins that I've invested in this, as could anyone else. So do be aware of that. But let's hope this has a good launch. I'm excited. This is the ICO that I put the most money into so far. I've put money into about four or five so far. So this is the biggest one for me. This is one I think had the most appeal. It was very well marketed, very simple idea, something everyone can understand. I think a great idea to have cryptocurrency you can mine on your phone. Something that's user friendly, because cryptocurrencies are so they're generally very much sort of look very technical. I think to a layman to get involved in, it takes a bit of getting used to all the different things you've got to manage with this, all your wallets and exchanges and the decimal points with Bitcoin and all this sort of thing. So hopefully this will be the first mass adopted cryptocurrency. As I say, if we can get to 1 million app downloads, then I think you will see the price of this rise. If we certainly get 5-10 million, then the price should go up quite considerably. That's my prediction anyway. I could be totally wrong. So let's see. 1st of November. I'll update things. I'll have a new video out when this launches. We can all have a chat about the price then, and let's see where we go from there. But anyway.